Hi, thank you for joining me again. I wanted to bring to your attention the story about this horse. It's an obese horse, right? So not only are humans obese, but our animals are also. Not only our children, not only our grandparents or our mothers or our fathers or our siblings, but also our animals are obese. And this is a very touching story that I found. This is a story of a horse in the UK. About a year ago, this was filmed, and I'll link a card. It's a horse rescue, World Horse Rescue. It's a
Around,
story about
and
this
you can see
horse.
he was in quite a lot of pain. Really, the obesity of the horse. We think it's down to the fact that the owner disappeared a couple of years ago. He was left in one paddock. Unfortunately, over the years, the fencing came down, and that one paddock became a really large paddock. So he had lots and lots of grazing, which unfortunately he was gorging himself on, and became severely obese. When a horse becomes obese,
So we know horses are social animals, right? So I'm trying to think about, what made this horse obese. Was it? And he said it was because he was in a small corral, and then he got into a big corral, and then he was gorging himself. And it's strange. It's strange how this horse's behavior manifested itself into an abnormal behavior. And I'm wondering because um, maybe the lack of social interaction with this other horses, maybe, or maybe anybody to pay attention to this poor horse. Just the lack of love. Maybe he got depressed. No socialization with other horses. Maybe because he was not gelded, so they did geld him, and they did castrate him. So he wasn't castrated at the time. So I'm wondering the lack of companionship with maybe another female horse. His hormones were raging, and maybe, it got out of whack or whatever. I don't know. But I really feel sorry for this horse because he really is, or I should say a pony. He really is a beautiful pony. And the story does have a happy ending. He does get rehabilitated. They take the 100 pounds off him. They really analyze his structure into making him a better pony, and then he's ready for adopted to be adopted out, because I think that if he wasn't rehabilitated, as far as to be socially rideable, for because he's only a pony, he's a small stature horse, so a child needs to be docile and gentle and not easily spooked for a small child to be riding on him. So
basically you put in real lots of extra pressure on all the joints, which is not good for the horse at all. Also,
isn't that the same for humans, right? When we're obese, we have a lot of problems with mobility issues, a lot of structural issues. I know with me, when I was obese, my legs started to swell. And the thing about it is my knees. I was 70 pounds overweight, and after I had my weight loss surgery, miraculously they went back to normal. And the thing about it is that the doctors always said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with your legs. They look totally normal, right? They look totally normal." No, they were not normal, and they hurt me, and nobody paid attention. So eventually, they swelled up to the size of cankles, right? I was in pain, so I can imagine how the horse felt. Um, as far as structurally, my legs were swollen, as you could see. They had a lot of adipose tissue. And then when I lost the 70 pounds, they went to normal. Normal legs. They were really, really swollen. I had normal legs as a child. They weren't swollen, as you could see right here. They were my legs in go-go boots. Here were my legs as a child. I don't think I could win the Tina Turner Award for legs, because And there, when I lost the 75 pounds, they became normal. As you can see, my legs got normal. And I was pretty proud of myself. That's what they look like. My knees killed me. They were swollen. But eventually, I lost the 70 pounds, 75 pounds. This was at the highest. As you can see, I had no ankles. See? No ankles. They were called cankles. They would swell up. And then they went to normal. They went to normal, right? Normal. I do have one leg larger than the other. I do have lymphedema now. And that's probably one of my worst problems. As you can see, my legs, they were very swollen. This is the top of my thigh. That's the biggest part of me right here. This part right here. This is the biggest part of me right here, this square. But
it runs the risk of opening up the doors to sort of things like laminitis. Laminitis is a condition that horses suffer from. It affects the whole body, particularly the hooves. It makes them extremely painful to be able to stand on the hooves. That's why quite often when you see a laminitic horse, when it's really bad, you'll see that it quite often likes to rock backwards because it's trying to take the weight off of its hooves. It's a condition that you should manage. When I found the horse and could see that he was in quite a lot of pain, we instantly called a vet. I got a vet on scene who basically gave him some pain relief to make him more comfortable. The vet then made the decision whether he was fit to travel or not. They said he was able to travel, so we then had to organise a transporter to come and pick him up. When I arranged the transporter, we made sure that it was very clear to them that this horse would need some extra help with the transport. So they made sure that they bedded it up really deep with straw so that if he did want to lay down and get more comfortable on the journey, then he could. So when the pony arrived at Glenderspooner, he was met by a vet and the team who were waiting for his arrival. As he came down the ramp on his arrival, because of his obesity, he made such a loud noise, it actually sounded like thunder. So then, at that point forward, they decided to affectionately call the pony Thunder.
So this is Thunder. He arrived here 2 months ago weighing 452 kilograms despite his short stature. He was also quite fit.
Besides his short stature, we know his shorties.
Footsore, unsurprisingly, and had markedly overgrown feet. He was an entire stallion, hence the very
If you ever watch 600 Pound Life, look at their feet.
Large neck. And so we've had to go quite gently with him because one of the ways of losing weight, of course, would be to increase his exercise, but he was quite lame at the time, so we haven't been able to do that. What we have done, he has now lost quite a few kilos. He's now down to 420.
So what they did was they decreased his weight and then they exercised. What do weight loss surgery doctors tell weight loss surgery people? In the beginning, exercise, no matter if it hurts, more pain, more gain, right? And all this other stuff. They don't even do that to animals, right? But they tell humans we have to exercise whether or not it hurts or not. I know what it felt like. I couldn't exercise until I lost about 15 pounds. Then I was able to exercise. When I got off 25 pounds, then it didn't hurt anymore.
29. Albeit not nearly as much as I would like. We've put his feet back, we've kept him on very soft bedding, we've got him down eating soaked hay at 1.5% of his body weight over a 24-hour period, and we are gently and slowly increasing his exercise. This crest of his should be this much left.
Slowly and gently increasing his exercise.
Than it is. Unfortunately for him, it's probably never going to be quite normal. I suspect it will always be a bit big. He has got these huge fat pads over his shoulders, which are still outstandingly large, but slightly better.
Fat pads, don't we call them on people love handles?
Than we were. There are some ribs under here, which I can just about feel if I push really quite hard. and he has the biggest appley bottom over
Happily
here
bottom.
that I'd rather he lost, and will do at some point. Actually, these fat pads are less than they were, and I think these shoulder fat pads are less than they were. Unfortunately, the crest to me doesn't look like it's changed at all since he arrived here, and I suspect that may well be
She even said he had cellulite.
the last thing to go. I hope that in time we manage to get in total.
So he does get adopted out.
At crest. Unfortunately, because he's been castrated here and was an H style when he got to us, this crest will never completely go, but it's now very soft and fairly floppy, and is also very small compared to how it was. Traditionally, we weren't able to put a head collar on him because the fat that came up in this crest came down to his ears, so that when we put a head collar on, it just slipped over his ears because there was a big fat pad between his ears, which I'd also never seen before. But that's gone now, and we can now get tack that fits him. And just to aid in the whole weight loss thing, we've trimmed some fur to make him shiver off the last few kilos. His laminitis is...
Did you hear that? They trimmed his hair, his coat, so he could shiver off the last bit of kilos. A little nugget there.
under control. He's castrated, and his physio program's going really well, so we're very happy with him.
Sad part about this story is really, you know, for a horse to get to that sort of severity of obesity, it just shouldn't happen really. There's plenty of help out there. We offer assistance if you feel that your horse is becoming a little overweight and you want some help. You know, we have helplines that you can call us, you can get the help.
Helplines for your animal. How about people? See you next video. I'll link your card.